Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, why am I here? Why were you born to those parents? Why does that one challenging person keep showing up? And why, when you look at a birth chart, do we say it holds your destiny? Today, we go beyond signs and houses to reveal the philosophical foundation of Vedic astrology. It's the soul contract. Why are we here? It's the soul contract that you agreed to before birth. Every person you meet, every challenge you face, and every placement in your chart is a key term in this contract, in this soul contract. It's chosen specifically by your soul to guide you towards ultimate freedom or liberation, moksha. So let's talk about why do we take birth, the soul's decision, right? Before taking birth, your soul exists in a state of pure, unlimited consciousness. In Sanskrit, you can call it Sat Chit Anand, which is existence, consciousness, and bliss. However, every soul carries a mountain of unfulfilled desires, incomplete lessons, and unresolved actions from countless past lives. This residual energy is called Sanchita Karma, which is accumulated actions. The problem is, the soul cannot achieve liberation or moksha and merge back into the source while this Sanchita Karma, which is the accumulated actions, while it remains. So what does the soul decides? The soul, alongside its spirit guides, chooses a subset of this vast karma, the most urgent and accessible lessons only, chooses that to tackle in this one lifetime. This is the ultimate act of courage, to take birth. So the soul meticulously selects the ascendant, the planetary placements, and even the Dashas, the time periods, that are needed to guarantee these specific lessons are learned. The purpose is not punishment. It is an act of spiritual necessity that's designed for your ultimate growth, or for the soul's ultimate growth. This entire pre-birth agreement is your soul contract. Now, let's talk about the static birth chart. The entire spiritual curriculum is captured at one single, precise, and irretrievable moment. The exact second that you take your first independent breath on earth. At that instant, the specific geometry of the universe, which is the location of the 9 planets, also known as Gocharas, against the backdrop of the 12 signs, also known as the Rashis, and the 12 houses, also known as Paus, is recorded. This forms your natal chart or your Rashi chart. Now, this snapshot is your fixed destiny. It's the rules of the game. The houses and signs, they never change their position in your chart. They represent the constant potential and framework of your life. This map tells us precisely which Rina, which is karmic debts, you are prioritizing in this life. The Pitr Rina, which is the debt of duty, the ancestral debt. The Rishi Rina, which is the spiritual debt, debt to the sages. Or the Deva Rina, which is a debt of devotion or surrender. Which one? The position of your planets in this snapshot shows the starting intensity of each debt. And I will do future videos on debt also. Because the earth is constantly rotating, your ascendant, which is your Lagna, first house sign, it changes sign every 2 hours. This fact ensures that your chart is unique down to the minute, making your karmic contract entirely personal and perfectly tailored to your purpose. Now, here is one of the most powerful truths that connects the chart to your daily life. The people that are closest to you are not random. They are essential, pre-contracted players in your drama. Your husband, your wife, your children, your parents. They are the supporting cast that are chosen to activate your deepest karma. Let's talk about your core karma. Your chart reveals that a huge percentage of your intense lessons, they are tied up in relationships. Why? Because relationships are the fastest way to trigger the ego and force spiritual growth. Every person you meet has a shared karmic contract with you. Let's first talk about your parents and your family, relatives. Your parents were selected because their chart and history perfectly activated the Pitr Rina, which is the ancestral debt, the debt of duty. You are here to resolve that, often through themes of support, structure, or authority. Now we'll talk about your children. Your children are the purest expression of the Purva Punya, the past life merits, as shown with your 5th house, and your karmic debts. They enter your life to advance your soul's lessons through profound responsibility, unconditional love, or even specific challenges that you must overcome together. Let's talk about your soulmates and your partners. Yes, you choose your major partners ahead of time. The sign and planets in your 7th house of partnership do not describe your partner's flaws. They describe the type of karmic energy that you need to confront. They're your mirrors. The partner is a karmic mirror, holding up the specific weaknesses or strengths that you need to integrate into yourself to complete that contract. If you meet a challenging person, it means your soul desperately needed that lesson. Once the lesson is fully learned, the debt is paid, and the relationship may transform into a beautiful one or gracefully dissolve, allowing both souls to move on to their next lesson. Now let's talk about dynamic versus static charts. While your static birth chart is the fixed blueprint, the snapshot of the sky when you were born, your life is not a static movie. It's a dynamic, unfolding process that's dictated by the movement of time, also known as planets in transit, Gocharas. Now, the planets are constantly moving or transiting around the sky. Think of them as the cosmic clock. When a transiting planet, say the disciplinarian Saturn or the expansive Jupiter, crosses a sensitive point in your fixed chart, it activates the lesson recorded there. This is when the karma comes to fruition. There's also the timing of the karma, the Dashas. They are the planetary time period. They must be running too. They provide the precise sequence of the story. This system determines when each planet gets its turn to be the director of your life. This explains why one decade is focused heavily on career. You may be going through a 10th house Lord Dasha, and the next might be focused on spiritual isolation. You may be going through a 12th Lord Dasha. You cannot change your static chart. The rules of the game are set. But by understanding these dashas, the planetary time periods, and the transits, which are the Gocharas that I told you about, you gain the power of conscious choice. You can meet the karma with awareness instead of being overwhelmed by it. How awesome is that? So what does all this mean? It means that your birth chart is not a prediction of fate. It is a diagnostic map of your spiritual agreements. proof that your life is meaningful and that every challenge is a clue. You're not just going through life randomly. You are here with a proper blueprint. By internalizing the concept of the soul contract and your pre-chosen relationships, you stop seeing your life as a random chance. Instead, you see it as a perfectly designed, magnificent curriculum, guiding you back to your highest self. Now, to start using this powerful map and decoding your own contract, you must first know the foundational language of the chart. So your very next step is to watch the next video, which is video number 1. It's called the Soul's Starting Line. How to find your Ascendant, which is your Lagna, and the 12 Karmic houses. Go watch that video now. I'll have the link in this video description. And let's start reading your unique spiritual agreements. Most of my videos are going to refer to these. Now, of course, if you'd like to schedule a consultation with me, you can do so via the link in the About section, where we can deep dive into your personal chart and your soul's purpose here. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and hit the like button, hit subscribe, share it with someone that you think would love to learn what their soul purpose is or how did they come about to being here. Thank you for watching, and thank yourself for watching. That's all for today, and go watch that video 1 I just told you about. Thank you.